Floyd Mayweather. It's a shame that it's been happening for years to not only athletes, but celebrities or people who are making tons of money because they're not managing their circle. They're not managing their life, you know? And it's your circle that's all important. You must hire people. If you're going to hire people that are going to look out for your money and you're going to trust those people, well, you better check the checker. You know, the checker checks the checker.
At the end of it, I think he's gotten some bad advice. I think he's been led into some things that, you know, he didn't necessarily agree to.
Floyd does not have all of his properties. Now, if he means homes that he owns, then okay, sure. But he's also had to sell a lot of those homes to pay back loans that he made against said houses and other assets or liens that were against him with the IRS. This dude cannot stop lying. He also said, I don't owe anybody anything, or
Oscar De La Hoya has once again taken aim at Floyd Mayweather, reacting to reports that the former champion is dealing with roughly $7.3 million in federal tax debt. De La Hoya says the situation is difficult to understand given the enormous fortune Mayweather built during his boxing career. In his view, earning hundreds of millions means little if the money is not protected properly. He suggests that Floyd's financial problems may have been influenced by reckless spending, questionable decisions, and the people he allowed into his inner circle.
Absolutely. Look, and it's funny you bring that up because I was thinking about a new segment that I want to come out with, giving advice to fighters or giving advice to athletes who come across a lot of money. And then what do you do with it? Then you have to hire people, you have to hire lawyers, you have to hire agents. So now you have all these people around you, right? And sometimes, and most likely, you hire people that eventually...
De La Hoya argues that Mayweather should have been far more selective about who handled his business and finances. When someone controls that level of wealth, every advisor, manager, and financial decision can have enormous consequences. Oscar believes Floyd needed dependable professionals who would challenge bad decisions, protect his assets, and make sure his fortune remained secure long after his boxing career ended.
If I'm going to hire somebody who's going to look out for my finances, I've had my finance guy for 25 years, the same guy. And there's a reason for that, because somebody else is checking him and somebody else is checking that other guy. So you have to be...
Reports now indicate that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is facing a federal tax lien of approximately $7.3 million in Las Vegas involving tax obligations connected to 2018 and 2023. The reported debt comes while Mayweather is also dealing with other legal and financial disputes, although his representatives have rejected the idea that he is facing a severe financial collapse. Bob Arum has also expressed disappointment over the situation. Arum remembers Mayweather as an exceptional fighter and a financial genius who generated extraordinary amounts of money, which makes the current tax controversy especially difficult for him to see.
You know, Floyd had a great career. He made a lot of money. But in his mind, that made him a great genius. Great business genius, great genius in life. And because he overrated life, he ran out of money. You can't, no matter how much money you have, you can't have 2 big planes, 10 security guards. It's going to cost you money. I mean, so again, I'm really sad to see that happen, but hopefully he'll get out of it.
Dana White, who has worked with Mayweather before, has also reacted with sympathy. White says it is painful to watch someone who worked so hard to build an enormous fortune potentially lose it, whether through bad decisions, theft, or other circumstances. He points out that financial problems are unfortunately common among professional athletes and believes there could still be ways to help Floyd if the circumstances call for it. At the same time, former Showtime executive Steven Espinosa has weighed in on Mayweather's claim that the network owes him $340 million. Espinosa suggests that poor financial guidance may have contributed to the situation and questions whether Floyd always received the right advice from the people surrounding his business empire.
What was going through your mind? Did you immediately call Floyd or what?
I didn't, because it's, at that point, I you sort of assume like he knows what's going on, like this doesn't happen in his name without him knowing about it.
Yes.
So no, like I didn't think that there was a whole lot of point like saying, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it speaks for itself. All right, that's what we're doing now. Okay, that's what we're doing. So
Right, so do you think that Floyd realized, okay, I'm missing money, I owe money, where's my money at? And he just had to sue everyone involved? Or someone is telling him, I think it was Showtime, or I think it was this person, your former manager, your former this.
I think they're two different situations. Like everyone sort of saw the two lawsuits and say, okay, they're the same thing. I think someone told him, you should sue Showtime.
Espinosa adds that if he had been directly involved in the dispute, he would have attempted to assist Mayweather. Having spent years working alongside Floyd at Showtime, he says he was familiar with many aspects of Mayweather's professional career and business dealings. That history, according to Espinosa, gives him a unique perspective on the circumstances surrounding the ongoing financial battle.
So it's the end of May.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it's due mid-June.
Right.
You know, and then you send your money in, and then they don't report it back to us till July. So all of a sudden, at the earliest that we see it is a couple months later. But then there's also, you know, there's sort of middlemen in between that this guy has to report to this company because, you know, for example, if you've got Comcast or Charter or some of these, there's local systems that report to the main company, and then the main company reports to Showtime. Gotcha. So there's sort of delays along the line. And it's a crazy system because it wasn't unusual that 6 months, 12 months down the road, like all of a sudden we'd get a big check from DirecTV or satellite company just because money was delayed and they just...
The controversy grew even wider when reports circulated that Manny Pacquiao's promotional chief had filed an $8.3 million lawsuit against one of Mayweather's former managers, alleging fraud and theft. The allegation adds another layer to the growing scrutiny surrounding people connected to Floyd's business history. Wade Plemons has also questioned whether Mayweather was as effective at protecting his fortune outside the boxing ring as he was at generating it inside the ring. His argument is based on Floyd's reputation as an almost unbeatable fighter. Bettors trusted Mayweather so heavily that they were willing to place enormous sums of their own money on him. Plemons sees an interesting contradiction in that confidence. People were willing to trust Floyd with their money, while questions remain over how Floyd handled his own.
Accused in lawsuits of failing to pay for millions of dollars worth of luxury items, including watches and high-end jewelry, allegations he has disputed. Well, not just allegations anymore. He's being charged with 2 felonies for not paying for, or at least writing a bad check for, a watch in Vegas as well. So on all fronts here, Floyd Mayweather is flat out lying, saying, well, my properties are paid for. Again, if he's talking about his houses, sure, your houses are still there, even though, again, he sold 2 houses in Beverly Hills and in Miami to pay 2 of his real estate partners. So why lie about it when we have the proof? It's there. Why? I don't understand. Floyd used to be able, and this, by the way, shout out to Spencer Cornelia because he hit this right on the head. He nailed this. Pause. He said that Floyd will do this where he will create a narrative, and because he is a massive superstar, his words are taken as truth. When in reality, we now have the truth. The burden of truth is on Floyd to...
Plemons believes Mayweather's greatest financial skill has always been his ability to make money through boxing rather than through traditional business ventures. He is careful to point out that this does not diminish Floyd's achievements because boxing is where Mayweather became extraordinarily successful. His reputation as a dependable winner made him one of the safest fighters for bettors to back, with people risking huge amounts because they expected him to deliver. The larger question, however, is whether that same level of financial discipline continued after the money left the ring.
More probability that they get that money back and some than Floyd pulling out equity in his home to take out a loan to try to pay somebody back, or using his home as collateral to take out a loan to then not pay the person back. That's the most true thing about Floyd Mayweather's entire career. He is the best boxer of this current day and age, and it's the one thing he's done better than anything ever. In business, anything. He has not run any successful business. He has not made any more money than when he is in that squared circle. Point blank, period. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what he's best at. But Floyd Money Mayweather, the only time that money comes into play is...
Mayweather himself continues to reject the idea that he has lost control of his finances. he has repeatedly pointed to the fact that he still owns his properties and that the people who depend on him continue receiving payments. Floyd's message is that his family remains supported, his employees are still being paid, and his major assets remain in place. From his perspective, those facts contradict the narrative that he is facing financial disaster.
So a lot of people are saying you're doing this just cause of the money. Is it just cause money, or just what you want to do?
Well, as you know, I mean, nobody has taken none of my properties away from me.
Right. So did you want one more question? I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the paper.
No.
Let's go back to the paper.
Right.
You know, I was thinking about something, right?
Yep. You doing better than me.
And a lot of times. No, hold on. Let me film it.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out.
Yep.
Now, when you really think about this, right? We got our people, meaning the black community.
Yep.
These people have been paying money for years to come see me fight.
Yep.
These people will pull equity out of their house, bet their life savings, and they bet it on Floyd because I've proved that I'm 100%.
That confidence makes his position clear. Mayweather does not appear willing to accept the characterization that his wealth has disappeared or that he is on the verge of financial ruin. Instead, he presents his continued ownership of major assets and his ability to meet ongoing obligations as evidence that his financial situation remains under control.
Every time, because they believe in me, right? And they rooting because they want to see me win. And then after they go home and they got everything they want, they praying on my downfall.
Facts.
They praying on my downfall. So, yeah, we don't want to see Floyd with nothing.
Right.
And so, I mean, and in due time, you know, a lot of times they say, oh, it's this lawsuit, it's that lawsuit. One thing about me, whoever I get involved with, as far as with business, I get myself out of the situation.
Okay.
You know, one thing we're not going to do is go out there and go point fingers. Oh, this person got me in that. As a man, you know, if me and you.
Cam Newton has also entered the conversation, questioning how someone who earned enormous sums could reportedly find himself dealing with serious financial obligations. Newton points toward Mayweather's famous spending habits, from designer clothing and luxury vehicles to jewelry, travel, and expensive business ventures. Floyd built an image around extreme wealth, and reports of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single day have raised questions about whether that lifestyle could remain sustainable indefinitely.
From Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, it don't matter who he identified himself to be. My question comes in, as I look at his career, I don't want to talk about the earnings because that's not something that I want to point out. I don't even want to talk about the splurging because he gave off this lifestyle that was not realistic for a lot of people to obtain.
Yes.
My question is, why hasn't he ever aligned with a brand? Or let's flip it. Why hasn't a brand ever aligned with him? I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So when you think about boxing,
okay,
names that come to fruition come to mention is Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
Oscar De La Hoya is the face or the owner, creator, CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Well, Mayweather Promotions, not a lot of people have aligned with that. You got Devin Haney that has spoke, it's speculative that he had $500,000 a day splurges.
Yeah.
Is that sustainable? He had multiple business ventures that failed. He had the lifestyle with multiple women and different things like, bro, I get it. But dang, and let this be a message to all athletes. And I'm not trying to rag on Floyd because I still have so much respect for Floyd. Every time I see Floyd, it's like, he one of the ones.
Yeah.
Because contrary to whatever it is, he's still a great fighter. But yet, we gotta do better with our money.
Yeah.
How? We have to put ourselves on a realistic longevity plan that even though you got the money fast, you can't keep spending it fast.
But who do you trust? How do you trust when, and I'm not saying his background, but if you're not used to money, don't have money in our community, who do you trust? How do you trust? How do you go about finding somebody to put you on a budget to do that. Cause
Still, the idea that Floyd Mayweather is literally penniless remains difficult for many people to accept. Even if you were facing substantial financial pressure, being considered broke by Mayweather's standards would look completely different from financial hardship for the average person. His career generated an extraordinary fortune, and he has accumulated valuable properties, businesses, and other assets along the way. Financial trouble does not automatically mean having nothing. Someone can lose a huge percentage of a fortune and still possess assets worth more than most people could ever imagine. So the real question may not be whether Mayweather has zero money, but whether the enormous wealth he once controlled has been reduced enough to create serious financial pressure.
On God's green earth, could this man be broke?
His lifestyle. I've been around like hanging out for days, weeks. It's the lifestyle. Like when you got a 40-man entourage, you got other people, and you take everybody out, pay for everything, shopping, the mall, going out to eat, renting out an entire movie theater. Yeah, just to go watch a movie at whatever time he wanted. It was like the theater was closed when we rolled up to the movie theater, and you know, you got the girls and all. Yeah, and you rent out a whole movie theater for 40, 50 plus people. I bet that bill can rack up a little bit. I don't know if he's broke. I think you'd have to tell me like, what is broke? He don't have.
Nicholas Irving focuses on another major part of the Mayweather controversy, the lifestyle itself. Floyd spent decades turning luxury into part of his public identity, displaying expensive watches, jewelry, cars, private travel, designer goods, and other symbols of wealth. When that level of spending continues for years, even hundreds of millions of dollars can face serious pressure. A fortune may appear practically unlimited at first, but repeated high-value purchases can consume enormous amounts over time. Irving's argument is that Mayweather's financial story is not simply about how much he earned. It is also about how much it takes to maintain the lifestyle that came with the money Mayweather image.
In regards to what he's accumulated over the years, he's burnt through a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Haven't we all, mate?
Yeah, haven't we all? It's part of the game, isn't it? It's part of the game. It's part of life, isn't it?
It's part of life, isn't it?
But as he said, he's still got his houses. He's still doing private jets.
Yeah.
He's still paying people and whatnot.
The best bar that he said.
The soup line one.
The soup line. He said, ain't no one ever seen me in a soup line, and no one's seen me holding my hands out like cops.
That's true. Big him up. Yeah, big him up. That's true.
Is he lying?
Nah, facts.
We have never seen him hold his hand out like cops.
That's true.
That bar there, Floyd, for that, I believe he's balling. I believe he's still balling.
Big him up, but I was thinking the other day, you know what? I won't be surprised if he came back and fought for a world title, a WBC.
You think so?
I won't be surprised if he came back and fought Haney or someone. I won't be surprised. 50 world champion. I think that would be actually dope.
And that brings us to the end of today's video. The debate surrounding Floyd Mayweather's finances is clearly far from over, with tax disputes, lawsuits, spending habits, and competing claims continuing to fuel the controversy. Whatever the final outcome, one thing is certain: the financial story behind Money Mayweather is becoming just as fascinating as the boxing career that made him a global superstar.